Hello children, very soon you will be appearing your semester 2 examination for computer applications. So let us have a nutshell revision of computer application subject. As you know, in your semester 2 examination, your total marks is of 50 marks and you have got 4 chapters to prepare from. The first chapter is library classes, the second encapsulation, then you have arrays and string handling. Let me tell you, there will be no questions from nested loop, as nested loop you have not studied in standard 9, neither it was there in semester 1 examination. So it is very clear that there will be no questions coming from nested loop, neither there will be any programs having the nested loop block. Okay, let's go to the revision. As you know, children, the pattern of the specimen paper, all of you might have seen the specimen paper. In the specimen paper, as you had seen, it is two sections are there, section A and section B. In your section A, you have got multiple choice question of 10 marks. There are 10 bits, each question carrying 1 marks. MCQ questions will be there, 10 MCQ questions will be there. And in semester 2, it is of 40 marks. Each programming is of 10 marks. You have to attempt any 4 questions from out of 6 questions. There will be total 6 programming questions, out of which you have to attempt any 4 programming questions, and each programming question will be of 10 marks. Then in section B, in the specimen paper, you might have noted there were 6 questions, out of which question number 2 had integer. It was a question of integer array. Question number 3, character array. Question number 4, double array. Question number 7 was from the string array. And question number 5 was to access the characters of string. And question number 6 was from palindrome string. So children, you can know that you will have programming questions from arrays and string. So let's go. Now there are certain points that you need to remember. Please prepare only from the scope of the syllabus. You might be having textbooks along with you, but please meticulously follow from the scope of the syllabus, because the council says that all the questions will come only from the scope of the syllabus. I'll be showing you in this video also what are the topics there in the syllabus. You might be having the rules and regulation book with you. Keep the rule and regulation book next to you and do the revision of your computer application subject. Second point, read the questions carefully and then determine the input, process and the output. Carefully read each question, because on the question itself, you will know the input and the process you have to follow to find the output. Now, indentation while writing a program is a must. Children, when you're writing program, you need to note that you need to use indentation. You can see this is a simple program of binary search. Now, indentation makes your program more clear, and the person who is correcting your exam paper also it becomes very clear, and you don't miss out in any curly braces marking the blocks. You can see over here in this binary search, after a class, I have mentioned I've started my class block, then I have made an indentation for the method block, then again for the while block there is an indentation. So meticulously follow the indentation while you're writing a program, and carefully follow all the instructions that are given to you in the question paper. Whatever, read the question paper carefully and answer it. Next, we start with the topic library classes. You can see it has upper class, and then you have auto boxing and unboxing. These questions will come in your MCQ. Then you have got functions. Now these functions will come mostly in the MCQ. You will be using in the MCQ questions. It will be there. Now let us have a little bit of revision on that. You can see, given a statement string s equals to 1, 2, 3, it is in the string format. Now the question says, write a statement so that the numeric value of the variable s may be stored in an integer. So I will be using my method integer.parseInt. Now parseInt method converts my string to an integer format, and integer over here is my wrapper class. Now the second question, given a statement double d equals to 12.36. Now write a statement so that the numeric value of the variable d may be stored in a string variable. Now this is vice versa. So I'll be using my method toString, and over here again I have my wrapper class, that is double. Now you can differentiate. Now small int was data type. So Small int denotes data type. Capital integer denotes the upper class. So the upper class always starts with the capital letter. Let us go for the next chapter that you have is encapsulation. In encapsulation, you have got access modifiers and the scope and visibility of your variables. And as you know, there are three access specifier, that is private, protected, and public. Now, children, do not get confused. Default that you have got three access specifiers only. Default and public are the same. If nothing is there, then it will be by default public. So you have got three access specifier. In the visibility rule of private, protected, and public access specifier, you might have studied. And the scope of the variable also you might have studied. Class variable, instance variable, argument variable, and local variable. Now there's a program over here you can see which says about the scope of the variable. Here you can see n is an instance variable, but in different method block it has got different values. So according to that, you can see in the output it also reflects when calc function is executed, the output of n is 100. In show functions it is 1000, and in display function, since I'm using the for loop, I will be getting 10 values, and then in the output again I get the total value of n, that is 1000. Now we'll go for the next part. Now here I want to clarify something. Now you can see in the display block int n was in the for loop block. That is why n's value started from 1 and it ended with 10. But when it came out of the for block, within the for block, the life of n was only within that for block. When it came out of the for block, it was going to the instance variable. Now the instance variable in show, we had changed it to 1000. So out of the for block, n will give me the value 1000. Now in arrays, already you might have studied this. Basically, you have got the definition of an array and the types of arrays you have. Declaration, initialization, and accepting data of single dimensional array. There is no double dimensional array. Accessing the elements of single dimensional array, using index variables. And array and the user. Search technique, you have got only linear search and binary search. Array as composite type, length statement to find the size of the array, and the searching technique only using single dimensional array you have. Now the syntax of initialization of an array, first you have got to mention the data type, the name of the array, then you have square parenthesis, then the list of values, then accepting values into an array if you are using as a function argument or using constructor, then the subscript and the index position, and using for loop you can access the elements of the array. Now there are some questions. What is the difference between these two statements? In sum square bracket equals to new intent, and sum square bracket 1 equals to 10. Now the first statement means in sum square bracket equals to new intent is used to declare an integer array named sum of size 10. Whereas the second statement sum bracket 1 equals to 10 is used to assign the value 10 to the index position 1 in the array sum. Like this question may come in your MCQ pattern, that is in this section A. And then you have the second question where you have to write the value of individual array elements in C equals to 78, having the value elements 78, 23, 45, 12, and 16. Now C0 always the index value starts with 0, and the last index value is always the size of the array minus 1. So it will start from 0 and it ends with 4, and sequentially in 0, 78 is initialized, at index 1, 23 is initialized, at index 2, 45 is initialized, index 3, 12 is initialized, and index 4, 16 is initialized. Then you have the next question, declare an integer array which can hold 25 values. So to declare it, it is int a square bracket equals to new int within square bracket 25. We mention the size of the array. Second question, declare an integer array to initialize 12, 36, 49, 50, 67. So using assignment statement, you are initializing the values, and then you have to initialize a float. You have to declare an array of float data type and initialize the following value. So these all questions will come in your section A. It may come in your section A MCQ, and this you will be also using if required in your programming. The linear search and binary search programs, only it will be from integer array, character array, and double array. So the questions in programming based on linear search and binary search will be from integer, character, and double array. Binary search, remember, the array will come sorted to you so that you don't have to use nested loop over there. So binary search question, the question will come of a sorted array. It will mention whether it's an ascending array or descending array, and then you have to find the value based on the process of binary search, that is half of. Then we have the string handling chapter. In string handling, you have got 18 functions. Out of these 8, you have to only prepare these 18 functions. Remember, in your programs also, you will be using these 18 functions only. Now let's go through some questions. String x equals to computer, y equals to application. What do the following function returns? Substring function, it starts from 1 and it will go on from 5. So as you know, from first index it will start. C is in my 0th index, so it will be omitted. So from O, my characters will be extracted. So O, M, P, U. Always remember, if two index are there in the substring, from the first index it will start and it will go on till the index before the second index mentioned. So over here, my second index mentioned is 5, so extraction will go till the 4th index. So in O, you can see in index 1 O is there, index 2 M is there, index 3 P is there, and index 4 U is there. So it will give me OMPU. Now system.out.println extract index of extract character at 4. It is just like plus minus cancel in the same way. Character at 4, 4 is my index. What is the character at 4 I have? Is U. And the index of U will be 4 itself. So answer is 4. Then we have system.out.println y plus extract substring 5. Over here plus acts as a concatenation operator. So it will give me in y we have applications and substring 5. From 5th index it will start the extraction. So you can see TER will be extracted and then we'll get application star. And system.out.println extract equals y. When comparing the ASCII values are not the same, so it will give me a Boolean result, that is false. Now the second question we have is string x equals to hello, string y equals to world. Again, system.out.println x plus y, here concatenation operator, so it will give me hello world. What is the length? Now there is a difference between the length in the array and the length function. Over there, the length will give the size of the array, but it's not a function. Over here, length is a function. Then we have, so length function of x will give me the sizes, the number of characters over here is 5. And then extra character at 3, it will extract and it will give me L. And then again, when I'm comparing, it will give me false because both the character here omit, it is not falses. By mistake, S is there, it's false. So you have got 18 functions in your string. You need to prepare with that, and you can solve many exercises based on this function to be clear about it. And you will be getting programs based only on these functions, and linear search of string, you have to use these functions. So what are the important things that you need to prepare? The important things that you need to prepare is library methods, string functions, declaration and initialization of arrays, accessing the elements of the array, accessing the character of a string, encapsulation, and all the program, it will be simple program because since nested loop is not there and the marks is of 10 marks, you can expect simple program, basic only concept questions. Like already you have seen in your specimen 1 question, semester 2 question paper, specimen question paper, it was basically only of extracting values and to count. Like question number 2 that you have is a linear search, just you need to find the number is present or not. Question number 3, you have to count the number of uppercase and count the number of vowels. Question 4, you have to print the sum of the elements and then you have to print the highest value of the array. So you can expect simple program, not difficult concepts will come. And then you have these are some basic errors that most of the children do. Array and string always starts with element 0. So whenever you start counting your index, you need to start it with 0. And the position of the last element of the array is always -1, the size of the array. Size of the array in bytes and bits, you need to remember difference between the length attribute and the array and length function in the string. Compare to function gives a integer result. It compares and gives an integer result using index of function for checking values. Index of gives me the index and binary search. These are the important things that you need to revise, and little bit of a revision will do. This is an array, integer array. Values are there, so extract length will give me how many, what is the size of the array. You can count and get. There are 9 values, 9 elements are there, so the length will give me the value 9. Position of 7, if you, when we start counting from index 0, you can see it is at 7 is at the 4th position, and position of 10, it is at the 8th position. Now, what is the value of x5? Now, you can see over here the subscript or the index is mentioned. So, at the 5th subscript, we find 9 values there, and in the second, we have 8. So, in these step, and what is the bytes occupied by the array? It is 36 bytes, because integer has 4 bytes. So, total 9 elements are there. So, the array will occupy 36 bytes. So good luck for your exam, children, and do the best and prepare well. Keep the syllabus next to you, and do not worry, do not get stressed. Read the question carefully and answer it. All the best.